Hey everyone, Codex here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Solana and we're going to be discussing the project and whether or not its price could actually reach 1000 US dollars. We'll also talk about Solana's blockchain and its future as Ethereum 2.0 will come in. So before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn those notifications on and make sure to comment down below your thoughts on Solana and just tell me if you think it might reach 1000 US dollars this market cycle. Now, we all know that in the last 2 years, the cryptocurrency asset has seen a rise of a lot of new competitors to Ethereum that claim to address the two main issues with the Ether network, which are the scalability and the expensive slow transactions. The most famous competitor is Solana, which a lot of you out there call the Ethereum killer, since it managed to start competing with Ethereum's ecosystem in such a short period of time. And we can see how that reflected on the price. I mean, Solana went from about 50 cents back in May of 2020 to an all-time high of 260 US dollars by the end of last year. It basically did a 500x in about 18 months, which is quite impressive. Now, Solana claims to address the scalability issues with no sharding or rollups, and it also claims that it can process up to 65,000 transactions per second, which is miles away from Ethereum's 15 TPS. Solana has also low transaction fees. I mean, you can process a transaction for a fraction of a penny, while the transaction fee on the Ether network costs 27 US dollars on average today, and not to know that the average transaction fee has reached 69 US dollars at some point last year, which is absurd. And so having another alternative is amazing. Solana has managed to reach this high TPS by running a hybrid protocol of proof of stake and proof of history. And so I'll leave you with this video which will explain what proof of history is.
Proof of history enables the blockchain to work fast while maintaining security and decentralization. Here's an analogy. If snapshots of dye diffusion were scrambled, you would know how to place the resulting images in order again because of the laws of entropy as a function of time. Proof of history uses a recursive verifiable delay function to hash incoming events and transactions. Every event has a unique hash and count along this data structure as a function of real time. This information tells us what event had to come before another, almost like a cryptographic timestamp, giving us a verifiable ordering of events as a function of time. Each node gets a cryptographic clock that helps the network agree on time and ordering of events without having to wait to hear from other nodes. Unlike slower, traditional blockchains, oftentimes throttled by various consensus mechanisms, Solana achieves high throughput without sacrificing network security.
Another thing that makes Solana special are NFTs. Now, I'm not a big fan of NFTs myself, but we can't deny the fact that they helped grow the ecosystem and increase Solana's value. In the past year, we have seen a lot of artists and collectors migrate to Solana to avoid the absurd gas fees and congested network on Ethereum. The two biggest Solana NFT marketplaces are SolC and SolanaArt, which combined have had a volume of roughly 14,300 Sol in the last 30 days. Now, that's still nothing in comparison to OpenSea, which has reached a volume of about 5 billion in a single month at some point, but you have to remember that OpenSea and Ethereum has been in here for a longer time. Moving on to staking, the average APR for Solana is about 5.8, meaning that if you have 100 Sol, which has a value of 11,000 US dollars today, you'll be getting about 0.47 Sol per month or 5.78 per year. $50 a month isn't a lot of money, of course, but if Solana reaches 1,000 US dollars in a few years from now, then you will, hypothetically speaking, be making 475 US dollars a month and 5,780 a year just from staking $11,000 worth of Solana. The APR isn't as high as AVAX's 9% APR or Elrond's 13% APR, but if you hold Solana, 5.8% a year is better than nothing. Now, I see a lot of people claiming that Solana will reach 1,000 US dollars, and while it's possible, I'm pretty sure that it won't happen this year. $1,000 Solana would mean a market cap of about 325 billion, which is just 20% shy of Ethereum's current market cap. 300 billion is definitely doable in a couple of years from now, although other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, we haven't had any other projects reach such a large market cap. But in order for us to reach that market cap, we need a bull run, which we currently don't have. Yes, we are currently in a short-term uptrend, but remember that Solana is still down over 50% from its all-time high. When it comes to the price action, I still think that we will see more downside movement in the future with Solana, and I believe that we are only in a short-term relief phase. I even made a post about this on my Patreon account a week ago, and I compared Ethereum's chart back in 2016-2017, back in the 2016-2017 rally, to Solana's current chart. Nobody seems to be talking about this, which is kind of odd, but yeah, we can see that we had 3 rallies with Ethereum in the past and also with Solana before entering our bear market. Ethereum has also had its short-term relief phase in here, where it went up for a couple of weeks before continuing heading down to lower levels, and I believe that Solana is doing the exact same thing. Solana is currently going up, and we might reach 120 or 130 US dollars, if not more, but to me, this is nothing but a relief phase. This is of course my objective opinion, I could be wrong, and we will see about that in the future. Now, before we end this video, we need to talk about the issues with Solana, because it can't be this perfect after all. And when it comes to issues, Solana has had many. My first personal concern starts with the on-chain governance. If you don't know what on-chain governance means, it's basically a system of implementing changes to the blockchain. Developers suggest changes and the community votes. Now, a good governance protocol should make decisions be based on the community and not controlled by a single entity, meaning that the community chooses the changes and developments. Solana's issue is that it takes into consideration the amount of token in one node, meaning that if a node has a high concentration of Solana, this node will have a higher voting power, which simply means that votes can be manipulated. My second concern is regarding the TPS, and while Solana claims that it can process up to 65,000 transactions per second with a block time of 400 milliseconds, the TPS has only been hovering around 2,000 and 4,000 during the last months. I don't know why, someone might have an explanation, but I couldn't find any on the internet. Typically, the developers would say that it's because we aren't saturated yet, but then they claim that the network went down because we are saturated, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. My third concern, and this is the biggest so far, is how Solana claims to be unstoppable and decentralized. Their network went actually down multiple times during the past 6 months. One time the issues were because of a DDoS attack, and then later on due to a bottleneck where failed transactions weren't being cached properly. And honestly, you can't really have the network shut down every now and then like it's running on a mobile phone and expect to kill and outperform Ethereum. I believe that Ethereum 2.0 will cause a big problem, not only for Solana, but for the other layer 1 projects too. If Ethereum shifts completely from proof of work to proof of stake and solves the scalability issues as well as the high gas fees and manages to reach 100,000 TPS like they claim they would, why would developers stay on Solana while Ethereum has already a bigger use base? I honestly don't have any answers for this question, but we will see about that in the future. So that was about it, guys, for Solana today. Thanks for sticking by till the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, if you want to store your coins in a safe hardware wallet and not worrying about the IRS knocking your ass and knocking at your door, make sure to check Decent. They are currently offering a $50 discount on their hardware wallet with my promo code Codex Crypto. They also have a mobile app so you can stare at your screen for 24 hours a day as Solana moves 1% to the upside. So as I said, check them out and have a nice day.